Dr. Sachin Deshmukh, Director sir, Parag sir, faculties, and my dear students. On behalf of VBS, I would like to welcome you all to this third day edition of our International Conference on Data Analytics and Social Innovation. In fact, I'm not a speaker today because most of the time we had interactions, we will be having some interactions. So we thought, like every year, that why not to make our students to listen to the experts from the industry and from abroad. Unfortunately, the guests from abroad were unable to make it to India, so they will be connecting with us online. For the next 10 minutes, I will be speaking upon what we did over the last 3 days, how we started our business analytics program in 2015, and what are the plans of the analytics team for the next 5 years. Okay, I think like our students mentioned, we had the Data Quest competition starting from 13th February, ending yesterday on 14th February. And I'm really happy to tell you that there were 61 registrations for this competition. I don't have the figure of how many of them were successful in submitting the solutions to the problem statement we had given them. On the same 2 days, we had pre-conference workshop, and about 27 participants took advantage of this pre-conference workshop, which was on time series analysis. Today we have about 6 speakers who will be sharing their experience and knowledge with you all. Now some students in this auditorium might be thinking, by Zabardasti kyun hai? Why we are made to attend such kind of programs. But let me tell you friends that without data analytics, your careers will carry no meaning henceforth. So whether it is finance, you have a big application of time series. Whether it is marketing, I need not tell what are the applications in the field of marketing. Likewise, you have in HR. You just name a field of business and you will find some of the other applications of data analytics. Because today, it is the time for the industries to get deeper insights into the data for making decisions and trying to extract some competitive advantage over the competitors. Now, tomorrow, that is 16th February, we have about 58 entries from various colleges who would be showcasing their models on social innovation, and parallel to it we have a poster competition, and both these competitions have attractive prizes to win, and I hope that some of you might have registered for this competition as well. Okay. Our analytics students might be aware of the kind of subjects they are learning over the period of 2 years. We started somewhere in 2015, and it is 8 long years wherein VBS and prior to this VESIM have given training to our students. Many of your alumni whom you would be meeting on 11th March next month, many of the alumni are placed at very best of the companies. Likewise, we also expect you all to get placed in a good company with a good package. So the latest addition to the subject list is the MongoDB Web Analytics. Then we have cloud computing. Okay, so these are the 3 new additions to our curriculum. Okay, now this is what the analytics team is thinking about. What should be the next addition to our curriculum. So we are thinking about working on healthcare analytics. Now the next few slides will tell you why we are trying to focus on this healthcare analytics. So if you consider a human body Can you imagine that a human body generates 2 terabytes of data every day? 2 terabytes of data every day. So if my sample size is about 30 patients, then just imagine 60 terabytes of data I have to handle every day. And for that matter, we require the best of the technologies. And that is where, the doctors and the related personnel, try to gather this data, try to dent into it to come out with some insights. Now, apart from this, you will also find that the healthcare industry is going through a transformative changes, and this is because a lot of data is now getting digitized. For example, you will find that hospitals are now converting the data on the paper to digital format, and that format is called as electronic health record. So if data are available to all the engineers or the doctors across the world, you can imagine how beautiful the healthcare industry will be, and it will be in a position to deliver you the best of the treatments at the affordable cost. Okay, now what can be the applications of analytics in the healthcare industry? So you can see that as always, it starts with research. Then you have predictions of disease. About 8 years back, a team of doctors from DY Patil, Navi Mumbai approached me, for making certain corrections in their sampling process. They had applied for a 30 lakh rupees funding, and the funding was just rejected because their sampling process was not right. Now, on discussion with them, I came to know that they are trying to develop a predictive model based on certain parameters of the patient. They would be in a position to tell whether the female patient would contract cervical cancer in the near future or not. So these kind of models are being developed in the world of medicine. Then you have automation of hospital administrative processes. Let me tell you, 10 years to 15 years down the line, if you are to visit a hospital, you may be meeting robots and not humans. So if you want to do any medical test, okay, the robots will guide you through all the procedures, and the medical test will be conducted by the robots. And this will be a reality because there are a lot of research papers on this, and maybe 15 years down the line, robots will be doing all the procedures, conducting all the procedures in the hospitals. Then we have delivering real-time alerts to healthcare providers. In USA, about 8 years back, there is a disease called sepsis, which is the 10th largest killer in USA, and the same is the statistics with India as well. So in USA, the insurance industry was facing a hell of a problem because there were a lot of deaths of sepsis, and they had to settle a lot of claims. So the insurance industry, the medical fraternity, and the data analytics companies came together and they found a solution. Sepsis is a dangerous disease, and it happens after the patient gets discharged. So when the patient goes home, then there is no immediate treatment available to him. So this particular solution contains real-time data collection, and based upon that, the patients were saved. If my memory is not going wrong, I recollected about $5 billion are being saved because of this real-time solution, and that is the great news for the insurance industry. Then you have improving the speed of identifying the disease risk in the patient. Now there are a lot of medical tests which are used for diagnosis and identifying whether a patient is having any disease or not. For example, cancer detection would used to take some amount of time for detection, but with the availability of the techniques in data analytics, for instance, you can make use of medical images processing, and one of our professor Dr. Nikita is doing her PhD in medical images processing. So even the minutest change can be identified through this medical images processing. Then we have discovery of new drugs. And this is why I'm telling you this, because we are trying to get into the healthcare analytics maybe in the next 2 years. Now, as far as discovery of new drugs is concerned, just imagine, India was able to produce a vaccine in a span of about 1.5 years. There was a time where the time taken by the companies to discover a new drug was 12 to 15 years. And to come out with a new drug, a scientist has to go through 10 raised to 15 molecules and atoms. So you can imagine, अगर 10 raised to 15 molecules को मुझे study करना है, मुझे 15 साल लगते थे. And then, with the use of analytics, it is possible to discover a new drug in a span of 2.5 to 3 years. Now I will tell you a story. There is a company, I don't want to name it. There is a company in USA. They came out with a certain drug, for a treatment of a particular disease. 15 years of research, pumping in billions of dollars. Okay, it was time for the company to test this on humans. So several hospitals across USA were selected, and the patients were treated. Selected patients were treated with that new drug. Out of 10 patients, 9 patients, got it right. There was only one patient who developed rash at the place where the medicine was injected. The MD of USA told the company to go back to the laboratory and rework on the new drug. 15 years of research, pumping in billions of dollars. You can imagine the loss to a pharmaceutical company. Now this is getting wiped out just because of the role played by data analytics. Okay, now apart from that, you might have heard about something called as genomic data analysis. Let me tell you, every human body has a DNA sequence, and what this DNA sequence contains? It contains a program. Just like you have a computer program, the sequence contains a program, right? Now if a baby gets a hereditary disease, for example diabetes generation से चलती आने की संभावना होती है. So if at all you want to study the genetic structure of humans, it is genomic data analysis. Then you have scope in augmented reality. So when the operation is on, the surgeon is working on the patient, he has to look at different monitors. So he sometimes looks on the left, look at the right, sometimes up. The application of augmented reality will be removing all these problems. So at a single place, he will be able to watch every reading. So if he wears a goggle, and the goggle in front of his eyes, there will be all the readings. So he need not look, in any direction for reading the parameters of the patient. Then you have robotics. Now, this robotics is again playing a very important role, not only in the hospital procedure, automation of the hospital procedures, but you will find that the minutest of the robots will be manufactured in the time to come, and they will be injected in the body. And these robots will go to the place where the disease is there, and it will click pictures and send those pictures to your computers. Then comes the AI in medical support. Obviously, artificial intelligence will help the patients to get the best of the treatments. For example, if a patient is suffering from one particular disease, the doctor gives a number of medicines. You can cut down, by that list of medicine based upon the artificial intelligence. Okay, so you can expect the best of the treatment at affordable cost by the use of AI. Then you will also be surprised to know that 3D printing of tissues and blood vessels is already on. So you can get blood vessels which can actually act as a blood vessel in our body. A time will come when you will get 3D printing of various organs of our body. Now you can imagine the quantum of scope you all are having. Then you have nanotechnology. Now there was a pill discovered by a company in America again, and that was called as pill cap. Now this pill can, was sent into the bloodstream of the patient, and it took pictures at the place where the disease was there. Then you have nanorobotics. In case of nanorobotics also, you will find that it will have the capacity to take pictures from within the body. जहाँ पर X-rays नहीं पहुँचता या कोई medical scans नहीं पहुँचते हैं, there you can send these nanorobots for getting more data to your servers. And finally, you might have heard about designer babies. So if a family is having some hereditary disease, in that case, the DNA structure of the baby can be studied, and the DNA which may give some disease in future, okay, can be set aside, or if there is some absence of any part of the DNA, it can be fixed so that the baby can live a healthy life in future. This is all a possibility in the coming time. Hospitals, as I've already mentioned, that they will be automated with the help of robotics. Now, you'll also be surprised that some companies are are working on designing some machines of the micro level, which can be sent into the human body, and these micro machines can straight away separate the cancer cells and keeping the good ones, healthy ones untouched. So all this has been researched, and all the data are being collected and analyzed by data analysts like you. Okay, now you will, if your reading is good, then you should know that the consumer buying behavior has changed since the pandemic, and moreover, the consumers across the globe, are preferring products which are environmental friendly, which can be properly governed by the governments. And let me tell you that 28% of the consumers across the globe have started preferring these kind of products which are environmentally friendly, will not cause any damage to the environment. And for that reason, we have started a new department at VBS known as Social Innovation and Social Business, headed by Dr. Nisha Pandey. Okay, the ideation lab is under construction. I think it should get over within a week now. And this lab can be used by the students, for generating various ideas and hopefully some startups. Okay, now this is a project which is very close to my heart. We are working in collaboration with the VS Polytechnic, and we have already constructed one drone. Okay. Now जैसे कारवा बढ़ते जा रहा है इसका drones का, let me tell you that a number of companies are joining hands with us. For example, communal software. Some of the students have done some live projects for that company. This company is joining hands with us as it is now getting into the providing consultancy to the drones companies, and it has shown its willingness to join hands with us. So basically we are trying to develop a design of a drone, which can be used for, say, agricultural purpose, which can be used for defense or transportation. Okay, we are also planning to work on a concept called as the Center for Advanced Transportation Technology. So if you are working on drones, you are not allowed to fly drones like as you like. So there will be a lot of guidelines, guiding the flying of the drones. For that you require some controls. So we are trying to work on this concept known as the Center for Advanced Transportation Technology. Okay, now this is the basic picture of the CAT lab. And finally, a company like Hyundai has developed something called as a carport, flying carport. Like you have the airports for the aeroplanes, you will have the flying carports, and this has already been designed by Hyundai in London. Same way, Uber also has designed its station or a port for its flying taxis, and this will be operation very soon in USA. I think I've given you a fair picture of what analytics team will be doing in the next 2 years. Okay, with this, I would like to close my talk. Thank you very much for your patience with me.